Hey everybody, Dane here from Oceanauts Diving. This past weekend we took part in the foundations of extended range or twin set at Market Hill Scuba Quarry, and this was basically to get everybody set up on their twin sets, get their buoyancy, trim and weighting dialed in. And this is completely different than single cylinder recreational diving because it's a different piece of kit. It's substantially heavier because you have two cylinders on your back, obviously. But also the hose routing and everything that we went through beforehand is different, but then now we have to put that on ourselves. So this was really to get the divers kitted up, get them into the water and spend a bit of time on the twins to start off with, just getting those basics dialed in. Once we had everybody dialed in, their weighting sorted, which took a little bit of time, and there was a few people who you'll see that they felt a bit head heavy, which actually meant we had to adjust where the cylinders were on the back plate. And this took a little bit of time, so we were sort of jumping in and out of the water to get all this stuff done on the first day. But once we had that, then it was time to get down and put ourselves into drill mode or skill mode. And for that, one of the big things that we were doing was propulsion techniques. So flutter kick, frog kick, modified flutter kick, modified frog kick, and everybody's favorite, the backwards kick, which always gets a laugh or two. These kicks aren't just about looking tidy or trying to get that perfect sort of technical diver look in the water. There's a reason behind them, and there's a reason why we learn each one of these. And a lot of it's down to precision and control. So in particular, frog kicks, while going in a straight line, will get you there slower, generally speaking. They provide better control than a standard flutter kick. It's also to do with whenever you're kicking, where is the water going to go? So a normal flutter kick will tend to kick the water and the force down, which will then cause silt to get kicked up if you're in an environment where there's a silty bottom or something like that. A frog kick, the water tends to get pushed directly behind you or almost at a bit of an angle, depending on how exactly you do it. When it comes to the modified kicks, these are adaptations on the main ones. So if you think you don't have the room to do a full frog kick, then you can use one of the modified kicks and you'll still be able to move, but it's in a very controlled manner. You might be going quite slow, but hopefully you're not going to kick up silt or kick the walls of a wreck or one of your buddies, whatever it is. And then everybody's favorite, the back kick. This is for getting out of a spot if you can't turn around. So being able to reverse out from a spot that you're in without having to touch anything is it's a hard one to do, but it's well worth learning. It's also one of the main ones that people, once they master the back kick, it helps you maintain position in the water. And it's something that as we go forward, whenever you stop to do particular skills, for most people, what they find the problem is that they continue forward. So they're trying to stop themselves, they're trying to hover mid-water, but whenever they're in the process of doing that, they just continually drift forward. And this is a classic kind of problem that people have at the start, especially whenever we're talking about doing these kind of skills and drills and things like that. But if you're able to master the back kick, it means that you can then maintain that position in the water much better, because if you feel like you're drifting forward, small back kick, you can reverse yourself out, okay? It does take a lot of practice and a lot of time. So once we had spent sufficient time on our propulsion techniques, which actually took the whole first day, just getting our trim and everything sorted out and then going back in and working on our propulsion techniques more. So what we actually put in was a line. We put that line in so that we have a visual reference that we can use, and then whenever we're doing all of our propulsion techniques, it means that you're not constantly having to watch your depth. You have a visual reference that keeps you on the same depth, and it's a really, really good tool to use. And especially where we were doing it in the quarry, there was a bit of a 2 meter drop sort of below us, so it meant there really was no cheating. You couldn't push off the bottom or anything like that. You had to maintain your buoyancy while you were doing your propulsion techniques. We wrapped up the weekend with DSMB deployments and some gas sharing ascents. So these are key team skills, and being able to communicate, share gas and ascend together smoothly is what extended range diving is all about. So next up, we'll be heading to Portroe Quarry for our XR Nitrox weekend. That's where we're going to add in stage cylinders, gas switches, real decompression planning, and hopefully if we wrap up the end of the weekend, as long as everybody is hitting what we need them to hit, we will end up with 2 real decompression dives. So if you're following the series, make sure to hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss out the next part of the journey. Thank you for watching. See you soon.